Make sure that they can see your teeth in at least one photo and take off your sunglasses. Yeah, we've all heard that before, and sure, it's not wrong, but it is kind of the bare minimum. That's the kind of advice that keeps your dating profile in the fine category and not the wow, I want to know more category. So today we're going way beyond fine. This is the stuff that nobody else seems to be talking about. The practical, real world advice that actually makes your profile photos work for you. And let's be honest, dating in your 60s kind of has its own vibe. We're not out here trying to look like an over-filtered TikTok star. We're aiming for confident, magnetic, and real. If that sounds at all interesting or intriguing, I hope you'll stick around because that's what's on the agenda. Here's the thing. After 60, there's a lot of people out there who still think that they're going to read your profile. But they're only going to read your profile if the photos pull them in first. It's just reality. Your photos are the handshake before the conversation. And at this age, the goal isn't to look younger. It's to look like the best version of you right now. I mean, you do have to show up and look like what they saw in your photos, right? You're not trying to trick anybody into thinking you're 35. You're showing them what life with you looks like today. That's what your photos are for. And good pictures are going to communicate that you're active, you're confident, and approachable, while bad photos, well, they communicate that you didn't really try. And that's not the first impression you want to be giving, right? The headshot is your hello. It needs to be clear, in focus, warm and friendly, and unmistakably you. And the first rule, as you know, is no hats and no sunglasses, and no shadows hiding half your face. This isn't witness protection. Learn how to use the timer on your telephone, your cell phone. Prop it up, tripod, a stack of books, whatever works. Hit the button and step back into the shot. And wear the shirt that everybody says makes your eyes pop. You know the one. That's intentional. That's not vain. Smile naturally. Doesn't have to be a giant, toothy grin if that's not your style, but it does need to read as friendly. Think about somebody that you enjoy talking to and let that feeling come through. And here's something people over 60 often overlook. Update your headshot regularly. Hair changes, glasses change, confidence changes, and the right photo is going to show that growth. Those full-length body photos, they're not just for showing your height and your build. They actually say a lot about you. They're showing not only your posture, but your energy and how you present yourself. So try to avoid the standing like you're waiting in line at the movie theater look, and instead try to shift your weight and take a small step forward or lean casually against something. Movement helps you look relaxed too, but you got to make sure you choose clothes that fit you well and feel comfortable. Nobody's expecting you to look like you're stepping off the runway or out of a fashion show, but they are expecting you to look like you put in some effort and some thought. So skip the cluttered backgrounds behind you. Nobody needs to see your vacuum or your unopened mail on the desk behind you or your unmade bed. If you're self-conscious, these shots can be taken outside. Nothing better than natural sunlight in a shady spot. That's amazingly beautiful for a photograph. Have a friend or a kid of yours or a kid of your neighbors or your grandkid take some photos. They'll help you relax in a way that a tripod never could. You know how when you were little, every holiday you got stuck at the kids' table? Wobbly chair, plastic cups, trying to cut a roll with a butter knife the size of your thumb. And then one day you're finally old enough to sit at the real table. Linen napkins, full-size forks, maybe even a glass with a stem. Becoming a channel member is a little like that. Same great company, just a better seat and a better view. So if you feel like claiming your spot, the join button is right there. I'm saving you a chair. Now we can head back to the episode. Your action shot isn't about proving that you're active. It's about giving a glimpse into what life with you might actually look like. If you love gardening, gardening is your action shot. You with your hands in the dirt, smiling over a row of onions or flowers. You're a great cook. Get a shot mid-recipe with steam rising from the pot. Ooh, action! If travel excites you, then show yourself in front of that breathtaking view. These shots spark conversation. Where was that taken? What are you making there? See, they make it easy for somebody to imagine joining you in those moments, or at least asking you a question about them to start a conversation. Nothing reads more genuine than a real laugh. Not the polite, say cheese kind, the kind that, reaches your eyes. You've got to see it in the whole face. So have a friend behind the camera tell you something ridiculous while they're shooting, or put on music that you love and let it put you in a great mood. Over 60, a candid laugh says you're approachable, that you enjoy life, and that you don't take yourself or life itself too seriously. Those are all things people are drawn to, and they can come through in a photograph just beautifully. This next one is the photo that makes people say, I want to know more about this person. It could be you playing the guitar or feeding the ducks at the park, riding a carousel with your granddaughter. The point is to show personality in a single image. Tell a story with one shot. Don't overthink it. Well, you can overthink it. Sometimes the best wild card shots, though, are spontaneous. So something you notice in the moment and capture, just keep it authentic. Or plan the whole thing out. Think of things in your area, in your neighborhood, in your life that might photograph well with you also in the picture. Lighting is actually everything. And in my studio, it's my biggest challenge because, harsh lighting can exaggerate every line on your face, and dim lighting can make you look really tired. So for me, it's always a work in progress, as I am, but I do have a couple tips. And that is, if you're indoors, face a window with soft indirect lighting. If it's too bright, use a sheer curtain. Honestly, that's the only time in your life you're going to be glad you bought sheer curtains. And avoid overhead lights. They just create the most unflattering shadows. For regular photography, I swear the best thing is to head on outside. Aim for open shade, and especially the golden hour, right after sunrise or before sunset, when the light is super soft and warm and very forgiving. And if you need to be out there midday, make sure that you're in the shade of a tree on a sunny day. Being in the shade but having it be sunny outside is gorgeous lighting. Just remember to not let the main light source be behind you, unless you're going for a silhouette, which you're not. Angles matter at any age, but they're especially important when you're over 60. So keep the camera at eye level or slightly above. Anything from below is going to create harsh lines that you don't have and you don't need for sure. You can get an idea of what you like by turning into like a news podcast on YouTube. I was watching the other day a show. They had 3 people. One person was in the middle and the camera was eye level. There was a woman off to the side and she was looking up into the camera. And then there was a man who was looking down. It was just everybody's angle was so different, and it was a really good lesson for me and now you. If you want to try turning slightly instead of facing the camera head on, it adds some shape and some depth, and keep your posture tall but not rigid. And here's a tip most people don't hear. If you're sitting, angle your knees, so slightly off to the side maybe, and then turn your own self towards the camera. It makes the photo more inviting and look less static or posed. It's usually the small things that decide whether a photo looks or feels good or not. That's why you need to take so many. I tell my clients when we're working on their profile, take 100. You'll find 2 that you like for sure out of 100. I can guarantee it. But make sure your hair looks neat. Wear clothes that actually fit you and make you feel good about yourself. Pick a background that isn't more interesting than you are, unless it's monkeys. That case, take the monkey shot for sure and use it as a conversation starter. They say not to wear black and white because it flattens you out, but I'm more about making sure that you wear what makes you feel great. And all of this says I cared enough to put myself together like you will for the date. That comes across as attractive no matter what age you are. The most magnetic thing you can show in a photo, trust me, is confidence. Not posing like a model. Oh, I have one of those. I'll show it to you. I think I was 17. But being comfortable in your own skin kind of confidence. Think of a moment or a person that makes you happy and let that warmth show through your face and your eyes. Stand like you belong in the frame because you do. See, confidence isn't about perfection. It's about connection. And that's what makes somebody click the see more or scroll to your next photo or reach out with a message. Your photos are your first impression, your handshake. They're your spark, hopefully, your chance to invite somebody into your story. Over 60, the goal isn't to look younger. It's to look like you at your best right now. If you found this helpful, you might also enjoy this episode on how to write a dating profile that actually gets responses. Wouldn't that be amazing? Before you go, please give Mom her thumbs up because she's cheering for your love life harder than you are. And please don't forget to subscribe. Hit that button like it's the last cookie on the plate. I appreciate you spending time with me today, and I'll look forward to next time. Until then, have a good one.